How are you, man? How are you? Just how is
I'm
it?
fine, yeah. I'm a little late because I went to have lunch and I didn't realize that it was to take that much time to get the food on the table.
Yeah, I know. I understand. No problem. Hey, who were you having lunch with? Who were you
With
having
my
lunch
cousin.
with? Your cousin, right? Okay, very good.
Yes.
Ask me if I had lunch. Or Ask me.
Okay. Did you have
I,
lunch already?
no, I haven't. I haven't. I
Why?
haven't.
It's too late.
I forgot. Honestly, just I forgot. Because I had a lot of things to do. I got a lot of things to
If
do.
you wish, you can go and take your time and have lunch. That is very
Yeah,
important.
no, I'm not. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry really. So the thing is, yeah, I only eat when I'm hungry. If I'm not hungry, I'm not. I don't have like a schedule to eat. I know, I know. Pro is not a very good idea. You know, you should
If you don't eat, if you don't eat as you should eat, maybe you can get a gastritis.
have tried it. Yeah, I know. I know. But yeah, no, I've never done it. Never in my life. Like I have had three meals, for example. I almost never had three meals. Barely have two meals. One in the morning, one in the night, or in the late afternoon. That's sort of my thing.
Me too.
I
I only have two meals at the day, just lunch and and dinner because I have to cook my own breakfast and that is a little boring, so I don't do it.
yeah. Sometimes it gets bored. It gets I get bored trying to. I usually don't. I usually don't. I don't like to cook for myself. Um, because then you're the only one who's gonna take it. So I have learned. I have learned to do like small meals, pretty small meals, like snacks. So I snack a lot. I snack a lot. I eat a lot of peanuts and olives and chocolate bars, little black chocolate bars. What else? I love arepas. Was the best. Is my best. Is my favorite carb carbohydrate source. That's pretty
Okay.
much. I don't eat a lot. I used to eat a lot. I used to be fat, and now I don't eat that much anymore. Hey man, are you gonna watch the football match?
I don't know. I'm not a football lover, but maybe if my cousin and his friends ask me to go, I'll go just to to accompany them, just
Okay.
to don't tell no. But
Yeah, I don't I
I
don't I
find it boring.
do. But
Seriously?
yeah, I don't like it much. Spend time with them, you can say. Actually, yeah, I usually do. I usually no. I I do go to watch some football matches. I haven't been to a football match like in the stadium. I haven't been in a long time, but I do go to watch football matches on telly on the television with my friends. But it's usually to spend time with them. It's just because they like it. I I like the context. I like the atmosphere. You know, like everyone is
Yes, because they're
drinking, everyone is happy,
happy, excited.
celebrating. Yeah, there you go. But I don't really like football. I'm
I
gonna get
like I like football only when I go to the stadium. I go there. I went then just one time, once in Barranquilla to watch Colombia against Venezuela. I think so. and that was very exciting because everyone was screaming, doing the weights, and all that was awesome. That's the
Kind of.
only thing I like. But all those man running after the ball is kind of
Yeah,
boring.
I don't know. I like the technical aspects of football. I probably I would have loved or I would have enjoyed being a footballer or a soccer player. But I didn't have the talent. I played football when I was a kid, but yeah, everyone did. But I didn't have the talent, and I think if I had the talent, I would have enjoyed being a football player, even as a kid or in the minors. But I never had any talent for football. I had great reflexes for a goalkeeper, but I'm not very tall. So anyway, I wasn't cut up for a for a football player anymore. But I like the physical aspects and the technical aspects of the sport or of many of the sports. Like I like, for example, the football, the cardio stamina that footballers usually have. They are incredible athletes. They have amazing resistance and stamina and cardiovascular resistance. So I admire that, and I sometimes I watch the matches and I get excited. Yeah, why not? But
Maybe
I don't follow. I don't follow anything. I don't support any team. I used to support like America or something. I can't even remember, and I don't give a monkey anymore about football. Not even with the Colombian team. I just gone. I watched the matches, but I don't get emotionally excited about that. I don't get emotionally involved in the whole like people. I see my mother. She's a big fan. She really likes football, and she cries
she
and screams and my girlfriend is crazy also, but I don't get involved emotionally. I used to before, probably in the last World Cup. I was very very emotionally involved, and I get really excited when Colombia beats Uruguay, and when they lost against Brazil. I was very sad. But that was it. From that point on, I just don't really get excited about the football anymore. Just like no. Sometimes I watch it, and I don't watch that often. But I really like to go and watch with friends because they like it.
maybe maybe I don't like football because it was a sequel since I was a kid. Because when I was in school, I actually liked playing football, but my mate doesn't allow me to play with them. And when I been in the team, they didn't pass me the ball, so I used to get mad and get out of the team because I was like running anywhere and I wasn't touching the that ball, so I
Yeah,
started like hating those people playing and running like idiots after the ball, and well, I think that's kind of stupid just for
yeah.
that. But
Probably,
I
probably
like the sorry.
okay. No, I probably is that you have a bad association with the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah, but I like the Las Caravanas after the team went
the parade.
one win. I really like it. It's like exciting. Everyone's crazy. Um, yeah, the parades.
Yeah, they're like they're really happy. Yeah, I like happy people. That's probably my thing. I don't
Me
like football.
too.
I just like people happy.
I
That's
like. Did you know that I like being surrounded by happy people, but most of the time I find myself surrounded by people who have emotionally problems, like they're sad, they're like in depression. I don't know, maybe I think that is my born gift. am
Yeah,
I good at listening to them and giving them some tips and motivating them.
yeah.
But
The
yes,
problem is that
most
you,
most of the people that find me are like sad.
yeah. Yeah, but sometimes if you're a good listener, then people follow you, especially people who had problems and feel confident, or feel confident with you. They feel they can trust you, and that's a good quality. It's not that you're attracting, sad people. It's nothing bad with it. It's just, if you're a good listener and you're sensitive enough, people start to open up to you, to tell your problems, because they feel confident. They feel that they can trust you, and
It happened to me
yeah, well,
a
that's
lot.
good. Maybe you should try uh, some sort of career path with consulting or coaching or psychology. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just a quality. If you're a good listener, you're sensitive enough. You can put in someone else's shoes. Then you sometimes have the ability to help people solve their problems.
Getting out a little of the topic we are talking about.
Yep.
Do you do you believe in those witchy things?
In which what? Do I believe in what?
Uh, I don't know how to say it. Witchy things.
Which things like witchcraft?
Like witches, like paranormal things.
Witchcraft.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
witchy things. I like that. I never heard it.
Because the book has all something like that.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah.
the other day I was talking to a woman, and she told me that listening to others my gift, my born gift, and she communicate. I didn't ask her, and I was just talking with her about. I don't remember, but she started telling me that I don't remember what she told me, but she started communicating with my father and with a friend that recently died in a crash accident. And that was like crazy. Oh my God, my father talking to me and I never met him.
Yeah. Well, I do. I don't know. I have a lot of theories. I have a lot of theories. Sorry, I have a lot of theories about that, because I really like physics and yeah, physics in general, science in that sense, and I think there are many aspects of the real world that are really strange. Like, for example, in quantum physics, you can see things that are in two places at the same time. You can see particles that behave differently. They behave like they are not particles. They behave in waves of possibilities and things like that. They are really weird stuff. They are weird stuff in quantum physics. um, so people who said, "Oh, I don't believe in paranormal in paranormal activity or witches or that kind of thing," man, you don't know anything. You have absolutely no idea what is going on. We don't know how it works. Maybe there is an explanation for paranormal paranormal activity, and maybe there is an explanation for um, these forces or these forces or this influence that people seems to have with what look like special powers, which is the case of witchcraft. The person like throw a charm or a conjuring or a spell, and then the thing becomes real. But and you say, well, that's not scientific, impossible. But not really. We don't know. We don't know how it works. Oh, when people die, they are dead, and you can't communicate with dead people because they are dead. It's not true. Many like the second law of sorry, the first law of thermodynamics. It says, well, energy doesn't dissipate, doesn't disappear. Sorry, it dissipates, it transforms, it changes, it transcends, but doesn't disappear. There is another law relating to thermodynamics, and actually is the conservation of information. It doesn't matter how much you can scatter, you can disperse or scramble information. Information is never lost. You can never lose information. You can take this piece of paper with my lesson plan here, very professional, by the way, and you can put it in the blender, put it in the blender, and just blend it for 1 minute, and then you can throw it in a river. Okay, yeah, you destroy the information, possibly in a very difficult way to put it back together in a readable way, or in a in a recognizable way. But it's never lost. It's there, scattered, broken, blended, and thrown in the river, but it's never lost. So yeah, our mind is just information. Thoughts in your mind is information, and or our information. And so when you die, well, this information is dissipated, okay, because you don't have energy in your neurons, and then the information is dissipated, but it's never destroyed.
Can you type that word dissipated?
I don't know, actually. Is dissipate. How would you tell? I think it's with double. I don't know how to write it.
Well,
Honestly.
in Spanish, what does that mean? What
I
that
think
what?
other uh, scatter. Dissipate or scatter, dissipate, or
Uh,
yeah, spread it.
okay.
Dissipate. I don't think is with double S. Honestly, I need to find how to write it. Um. Okay. So yeah, that's the point. So if we are if the brain or your thoughts, what makes you is information, and that information is never destroyed. Maybe there are some reminders of energy who can concentrate or hold that information together. uh, like, for example, your physical appearance. Okay, so then you could have some people, some experience, or you could explain how some people see people that were dead, because they maybe the information, the visual information, of their appearance is preserved in somehow. I don't know. I'm not claiming that I have a full theory of ghost now, but I think it's a hypothesis of how could a ghost appear, or how could you transcend death, which is a much longer conversation. Transcending that, which is totally possible, and even probable. But I don't know. Let me see how to write dissipate. Dissipate. This is with one S. Dissipate. One S only. Dissipate or scatter. Okay. So you can do
Uh,
whatever you want with information, but information is never lost. Okay. And maybe some people could hold that information together after that. But this, in the case of witchcraft, which is people who claim to be able to influence other things by a spell. Well, you know what a spell is? Uh,
yes.
yeah. Or
It's like a speech.
like a what?
Like a speech? Or am I wrong?
No, you're wrong. like la it's like, for example, to actually the collocation is throw.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Throw
I
a,
already looked for it on Google.
okay. So they say also it's a verbal incantation and sorry, incantation. It's a verbal incantation.
Do
And
you
you,
believe on it?
sorry.
Do you believe on it? On a spell?
I don't know. I don't know how it, I don't know anything. The only thing that I could claim is that we don't know. It might work. Like say, oh, it's impossible because you cannot influence something unless you touch
I
it.
believe on it, but I'm totally disagree with it. Currently, my mother, someone in Ocaña hates my mother and put something that we don't know what is that kind of energy that every night, maybe at 10, 11, or sometimes it arrives a little earlier, like 8 p.m. It arrives and it make when we have the yard the yard door closed.
Okay.
It sounds like something crushes and cross the door and and my mother when she goes to sleep she feels something that touch her and feels that someone yes something touch her and sometimes in the yes crush and at the other day she sometimes wakes up like feeling abused and sometimes she have let me look for this word.
She feels she felt what?
She feels like something touched her, someone,
Okay.
and she wakes up with pacifiers,
Pacifiers.
um,
What are they?
pacifiers, pacifiers. Her nipples sometimes hard and all those things, and and something similar happened to my sister when she was dating with her daughter's father because her daughter's father had his ex-wife and her mother the mother of well is well that woman her his ex-wife likes witchcraft and
Okay.
she started and we start feeling things in the roof and sometimes it fell off over me or my sister and once we were in a sanctuary in Ocaña. I don't know if you have heard about it. It's named El Agua de la Virgen of the Virgen de Torcoroma. Have you heard about her?
No idea. No,
No.
the first
I
time I.
was with my mother and with my sister. We were going upstairs and I shot a picture of my mother and my sister um, next to a Christ statue. And when I saw the picture, my sister had all her face like full of hair, white hair, and her eyebrows were like this, and with hairs like all crazy. I don't know. I got very scared about it.
Okay.
And my grandfather he reads the hand, and he told my sister that someone was making her things to become her crazy.
Okay.
So he did some things to my sister that it didn't come back anymore to the house. And I'm not agree those reading of the hands, of reading of the cigarette, or the things of the coffee, because they all works with the devil. Because I used to like it because I didn't know that they work with the devil until my grandfather told me that he told me that he wanted to teach me how to have the girl that I want. It doesn't matter if she doesn't like of me. Yes, the dark arts. So I told him no because I don't like it. I think that I have the physical attraction to attract girls. And
Yeah.
he told me that it cool because it was easier, and he already taught it to another boys around him, and he told me that he works with the friends, and I told him what friend, and he told me with the friend, and I said with the devil, and say yes with that friend, and I said okay, thank you. And since there I said to myself that I don't want to put my hand to into it. Although he doesn't do bad things, he just help people to stop the fightings between family, to have a better job or things like that.
There you go. I don't know. I have the same position that you said. Obviously, I don't have the well, I don't have a sound explanation. Like I don't know, but I think I don't get into it. I don't get into any of that. Although it's fascinating, I also been fascinated by dark arts, hand reading, cigarette reading, the chocolate readings, uh, the card readings. Those are fascinating because you don't really know how could it work, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't. Okay, just because you don't understand it, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. Um, so, but I don't get it into it precisely for that reason. I don't know. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand how any of that of those things work. So I better don't do it. I better yeah, I don't do it. I better not. So that's the only explanation. I don't have anything to say because I don't have a religious background to say, oh, I won't do that because it's against the church, it's against anything. But it just I just don't think I should play with forces that I don't fully understand. I shouldn't play with I shouldn't play with a gun if I don't know how it works. It's stupid and it's dangerous. So that's the same logic that I apply here. I just don't do it. I don't think it's
Maybe maybe my brother thinks like you because he of course he believed that it exists and it's possible to manipulate it. I don't know how. And he have a wife, and his wife and her mother, they are witches. And have you heard that women sometimes give to the man that they want to hold on?
the what?
Wait, that they want to tie up next to the,
Got the name. It
and
hasn't.
she gave him the blood of her period.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I heard that. Disgusting, but
Well,
yeah, that.
she
I
gave
know.
him she gave it to him, and since a time to now he start acting weird. he he is like how I tell you, like marionette. He does all she says. They fight, they treat him like a shit, she treats him like a shit, she doesn't cook to him, she tells him to go of the house, so she goes to my mom's house and stays 2 or 3 days, and after that he goes back to her wife's house, and that, and my grandfather have read the hand to him, and he doesn't believe on it, but I am sure that that she's doing things to try him. And we, my mother and I and my sister, we believe that his daughter is not of him. It's like she had, yes, tie him up,
Yeah.
and his daughter is not of him. That she cheated him, got pregnant, and said that if his baby. Also, the physic aspect of the baby is not equal as him. Neither the nails. I mean, nothing is like him.
Really?
Yes, and that's crazy. And he and we tell him things like that. Also, we know that we love the baby because she's beautiful and um, she's not guilty for anything of it. And she says that she hates us because we don't give anything to the baby. I mean, because we don't give her gift, we don't give her material things. And once she told my brother that me, my sister, and my mother hate the baby. She's crazy. I mean, who can think about it? Just
No,
crazy.
maybe. But I honestly think, I've heard so many stories about witchcraft and spells and ties and there is a word to say amarres, but of course I've read the word in English and it's much more interesting than Thai, but I can't remember now. But yeah, I heard so many stories about these cases, and it has to be something if there is so much evidence of that, because they work, man. I mean, the whole thing with the blood of menstruation, I've heard that like a million times, and now it told me like it seems like it works. So it's terrifying and very unsanitary for that sake. Okay, at
Okay.
least very unsanitary, for not saying unethical. So yes.
This is another crazy thing that happened, what used to happen. You may think that, oh my God, what kind of context this guy was phrased. But my sister, one of my sister, because I have three, one is dead and two are alive. One of her had her husband, and they have a fight and they broke up. And they have three girls. And during that period that the couple is like they are getting away or not, the her ex her ex husband went to a store of dark arts and
Okay.
bought a perfume. And that perfume he oh, I forgot the word. He used to put it on him. And my
Very good.
sister said that when he got home, she felt like something like magnet attracts her to him, like she wanted to hug and kiss him and do everything to him. But it wasn't, but she felt bad about it. And once she found that perfume and she went to a dark art store and 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 it was the same store that he bought it, and the women told her that it was for that purpose, and if she wanted to break that effect, she have to pour water or urine, I don't know, but she did it, and it stopped, and the effect finally broke and they got away.
Okay. So she broke the spell.
Yes. Other
Good.
time I was working for oh, sorry, I forgot the word.
What is the word?
For a real estate.
Okay. To real
For a
estate.
real estate. And my coworker, she is like 45 years old. And once she asked me to go to a dark art store and buy a candle, a seven candle. Do you understand?
A seven candle.
A seven candle.
Seven
A
candle.
seven candle wicks. A seven candle wicks. Or a candle of 7 weeks. Do you get me?
Okay. 7 week candle. Yes.
No, I mean una vela de 7 mechas.
Oh, a seven. I don't know how to say that.
Well, that and I buffed it because I wasn't in blank. I didn't know for what it was, and it had a pray on it, and I was reading it. It was to invoke bad spirit to break down a work for someone, and it was like crazy because it was like praying to God, but praying in bad terms. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, praying. Yeah.
Yes, and that was pretty crazy. And after that, I had to take her to the witch house, and I wait out of the house, and it was like aurora of the house. It was ugly, and she last like 1 hour in there, and when she got out happy. I don't know what she did with that candle, but that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I know. Say the aura, like the energetic, yeah, outline of your body. Okay, aura.
Yeah, the atmosphere of the house, I mean.
Oh,
The
the
atmosphere.
atmosphere. Atmosphere. The
The
atmosphere.
atmosphere of the house, it was like heavy, like black, like I don't know,
Yeah, well,
horrible.
when you do that kind of shit, that usually happens. Um, well, it's just a matter of time when you're playing with that kind of things. Uh, they usually happen bad things. I mean, because it's the same thing. You're playing with things that you don't know. You absolutely don't know. So yeah, it's like playing with a gun. You don't know how it works, or even playing with, I don't know, playing with a car. It's not designed to kill anyone, but if you're playing and you don't know how it works, you're gonna crash into someone. You can kill someone. You can kill yourself. That's my problem with that. I don't really know how it works, and I always remembered, and I don't study that much because I remember a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche that says like, when you stare when you stare to the abyss for when you stare to the abyss stares back. So that's a very terrifying phrase. I'm gonna try to write it. When we stare at the abyss, God, abyss, the abyss. When you stare at the abyss, the abyss stares back at you. So I think it's terrifying. You know what a stare is?
What?
Do you know what a stare is in stare?
Stars? Yeah, I think so. It's like when you start looking at me.
For a long
Yes.
time in a
Uh-huh.
unsettling way.
Directly.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. If you do that for a long time, then you don't know what you could attract. That's the only thing I can say. I do don't know how it works. Again, if I had some knowledge of how the physics of that works, then I could I could actually do something, but I don't know, and it's terrifying. Actually, I don't like. I've always been interested in so many things like witchcraft, demonology, and things like that. I never studied that because I'm, I'm a scared shitless about that. I don't want to do it
You're
because
a what?
the what?
You're a what?
Oh, this is a very not a nice thing to say. I am a scared shitless. I'm
Oh,
scared.
scared?
Scared.
Ah, okay, scared.
About
Yes.
that. It's, or you can say it scared the shit out of me, something like that. So, okay, but I'm very scared about that thing, and about those things in general because you don't know how it works. I don't know how, this whole thing, and you saw so many exorcisms and things like that. You don't know how they work. You don't know. Okay, I don't believe like my father. My father is the biggest a skeptic. He doesn't believe in anything, and he's like, "Oh, you cannot prove that. Like, you don't know shit. You don't know."
Does he believe in God?
He does
No.
believe in God. He does. He's
Ah,
but
okay.
very recently, he wasn't a believer before. Right, just in his in his latest years, he has become a believer. But he didn't believe much in God. He is not religious at all. Um, but anyway, he doesn't believe in anything else. He doesn't believe
Are
in.
you religious?
Sorry.
Are you religious?
No. Oh well. I am. I am. I think what I can say is I am spiritual, which is I don't know what it means, but I don't go to church. I don't practice. I don't. Um. I don't observe. I don't observe. Right.
I'm like you. I don't like going to the church. I don't like praying all the time, but I pray at home. I talk to God and all those things, and I believe in them and very much. But I don't. I'm not like that religious. Just spiritual, as you say.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think you have a very spiritual part, and I think it is the most important part of, probably, yeah, the only important part of our existence. I don't claim to know anything special. I wasn't raised religious. Like when I talk to my girlfriend, she told me how she really believes she feels better when she goes to church. She feels better when she go and listens to the sermons, and I think I truly believe her, and because she has been raised that way. I wasn't taken to mass, and I don't have any positive association with that, with those rites. Yeah, I just, the only thing I remember when I was a kid, I was bored to death when I was in mass. I was like, oh my God, please kill me. I don't want to stay here anymore. But I was 6 years old the last time they took me to mass. So yeah,
I I was forced to do the first communion and the confirmation by my mother.
yeah,
I didn't like to wake up early the Sundays and miss the details of the Green Brothers.
yeah.
I
My
used to
girlfriend.
get very annoyed to go to the church and being with that religion people and learn all those praying, but well, finally I had to do it, and yes, I had to do the first communion and the confirmation.
Okay, yeah. What are you gonna do? It's a very strange thing to say. Because I didn't actually do the first communion because I was too old. They forgot they forgot to do it, or they forgot to take me to the first communion. So I ended up going to the. I was 16 already. I was already in at the age for the confirmation, and so what they did is they did the first communion and the confirmation at the same time. And I think my godfather was my dad because nobody wants this to be my godfather. And yeah, that kind of thing is still like it's like too much bureaucracy, man. I just I don't I don't know. I'm not claiming that everyone should be or unaffiliated, which is why that's what I am. I am unaffiliated.
Okay.
Affiliated. Unaffiliated. I think it's written like that. Unaffiliated, which means I don't belong to any particular religion, but I do have a particular belief in God or in a supreme.
I used to think myself that I was a Catholic person, but I'm really confused about religions because some say that you can do this, but you can do this, but done this and that, and so I decided, I'm not going to believe in any religion because where God died or Jesus, I don't know, there are dozens of religions, so I don't know which is the real one. So the
Yeah,
only
well,
thing
yeah.
that I know is that God exists and only that. And I don't particularly I don't have nothing to those Christian people, but I think they are so stupid. And my sister, she became a Christian, and she became like stupid, like if a big part of her brain was like screw.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, because she became an idiot. She says that everything is a sin, but she is more sinner than she thinks. And well, I love my sister, but not at my other sister because she during all my life she's been like a totally shit with me, with my other brothers and my mom. If I tell you the story, you will think, "Oh my God, she's like a monster." But I love her. But I don't know. She's a bad woman, bad sister, bad mother, but an excellent friend and an excellent wife. But the
There you
most
go.
important is a pretty bad daughter and a pretty bad mother. I
Yeah,
used to
well,
hate her,
yeah.
and she thinks that she is saving her spot in the heaven, but
Oh,
now she is like having a relationship with her own brother. Well, she is my sister from my mom, but not from father. And now she's like having a relationship with her own brother, and that's crazy.
a little bit messed up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the whole religious part is just but anytime you try to make everything to a religion, something goes wrong. Something goes terribly wrong. I mean, I've always my sister, she's Buddhist. She believes she's a Buddhist. Um, and I knew about Buddhism because I studied Buddhism for a for a while, and I really like the philosophy of Buddhism. I like the philosophy of Buddha and all the enlightened part and Nirvana thing. And I truly believe it's one of the most beautiful and more wise
Buddhist is that fat guy that is seated.
fat guy who meditates. Yeah. Well,
Yes.
It wasn't
they
bad.
think.
It was depicted bad in a lot of in a lot of statues and monuments. But he was actually skinny. Um, so yes, he was a great philosopher, more than a guru or more than a sage. Sage, a sage. What is like a saint, pretty much the equivalent of sage. Es un sabio o un santo in terms of the spiritual in spiritual terms. Uh, so he was a sage and a very wise man. He lives the life of a man, and then he becomes more spiritual, and he um, he finds nirvana, or he finds enlightenment, and he becomes aware forever, and then he dies and becomes something else. Okay, so I thought, well, that's a wonderful, beautiful religion. I mean, he's talking about awareness, he's talking about self-consciousness, he's talking about um, how do you say this? Yeah, awareness mainly, and it makes sense to me. It made sense to me in that moment. Tenía sentido para mí. But that could be a good religion. You will learn to meditate. It's very good actually. And then I heard about this guy. I don't remember his name. He's a Buddhist monk in Burma, Birmania, in Burma, and he's 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 one of the most racist leaders that there is in Burma, and it's called the Buddhist Hitler. They call it the Buddhist Hitler. The Buddhist, the Buddhist Hitler. Ahí va, ahí va. Ya, lo llaman el Buda, el Hitler budista, the Buddhist Hitler, because he's xenophobic, he's racist, he has launched like lynchings against Muslims, and he's very it's a terrible. He's a very popular character in Burma. So, but he's encouraging violence. He's a Buddhist encouraging violence, which is like stupid, man. This is the most contradictory thing. Like when you see all these Christian people that they are really aggressive and they're really violent. They like Jesus never raised a hand against anyone. Well, he throws stones at the merchant in the temple, but apart from that, he was a very peaceful man. He was a very, very aware and peaceful man. And then you see so many conservative Christians that they so narrow-minded, so narrow-minded. I'm gonna write that narrow, narrow-minded. They are so narrow-minded, and you say like, oh my gosh, you're such. I want to keep them. Uh, they are terrible. They are spreading a message of violence and discrimination. I don't think that is the right way, and I can't see any religion in the world that hasn't done that. So I think they are very good philosophies. Among them, Christianism is a good philosophy. Buddhism is a great philosophy. Zen is a good philosophy. But when they become so organized and so institutionalized, they they become aggressive and intolerant. Intolerant. That's the word I was looking for. Intolerant, and that's why I'm very, very suspicious. I'm very suspicious about organized religion. So I consider myself that my background is Catholicism. I was raised in Colombia. I was raised in a small town, and I observe some rites and some traditions, but I'm not. I can't say like I'm just gonna stand up the Vatican and be very no, because I'm not. I'm very, very suspicious about a religion and something that is spiritual that has been so organized. Some of them very rich people, like Vatican has a lot of money and that kind of thing. So I am suspicious about that and organized religion and that kind of thing. So it's just that I consider myself a seriously spiritual person, and I think spiritual part of your body is the only thing that matters, and it should matter more than any other thing, more than success or whatever you consider success. It should be your spiritual life. That's it. That's pretty much my view on that. I don't know. We jump from paranormal to witchcraft to religion discussions. So it's a very good conversation, man.
Yes, it's
Yeah, it's
very
very
interesting
interesting. Yeah,
this kind of
and,
topics.
and we have gotten a lot of vocabulary in the way. Yeah, Arne, I think okay. I think we should do a little bit of class with whatever time we have left.
Yes.
And I think I was going to continue with conditionals, but I think we should practice a little bit of phrasal verbs because they are really interesting and they
And
act.
I actually need to learn. Well, I know much of them, but when I'm doing these writing papers, they just don't come to my head, and I forget them all. Even when I'm talking, I the only one that I use is like because, but, and even though. Those are the only one that I use.
Well, but those are connector and conjunctions. Phrasal verbs are a little bit more complicated, or not complicated. They are different than conjunctions. They are usually.
Okay. I'm confused. Wait, I had to take a test about phrasal verbs, and I saved them here. It's like conectores, ¿cierto? Phrasal verbs? No.
No, actually, if you want to translate it, they are called verbos frasales, like that. Okay,
Yes,
instead of
like
yeah.
work off, like work stand up. Yes.
This. Uh,
There.
well, the main thing with those verbs, basically, okay, let's get to the definition of a phrasal verb. For starters, a phrasal verb is just a verb that comes with a preposition or a connector. Usually has one or two parts. I have never seen a phrasal verb with more than two parts. So it has the verb. Usually, what it follows is a preposition, and then you have connector. Okay, so it's usually sorry, you have uh, verb, preposition, and sometimes another preposition or a connector. Like for example, the most common connector is with. That's the only one. The rest of them are prepositions mainly. So they are verbs with two particles, where one or two particles. Okay. Uh, the main aspect that you should know about this is some of these prepositions changes the meaning of the verb in somehow. Sometimes it's just in a very literal way, like sometimes like you say look up, look look up, and it only means that yeah, look up, yeah, that direction. So sometimes the preposition just means the direction, or is being specific about the direction. Okay. Sometimes you say look up in the dictionary. All is different. It means like checking your dictionary for that word. Is to look for something in a reference list or book. Um,
Or even
Sometimes,
look for it.
yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you say turn up. It just means increase. Okay, turn up the volume. Okay, increase the volume. And sometimes it means something else, like to arrive suddenly or unexpectedly to a place. Okay, for example, my cat just showed up. or my cat just turned up. So when I turn up late today, okay. So I turn up to the class late today, for example, that kind of thing. So sometimes they have really strange meaning, and sometimes they are very intuitive. So what we're gonna try to do is first we're gonna see a little bit about the structure of the phrasal verbs. Then we're gonna see a bit of the general meanings of those prepositions. For example, the preposition up sometimes just means increase something, like go up, when go up, or I had another one. Um, yeah, go up, turn up, soar up, soar up. Okay, so sometimes you change the verb and it means the same thing. Okay, like for example, the coffee prices soar up. Okay, it means to soar es planear, like a bird. The soar up es como se subieron por las nubes or something like that. Okay, or you can say jumped up, very sudden. They jumped up. Okay, they both mean to increase, but they changed the verb and they changed a little bit the connotation of the verb. Sometimes just for pure aesthetic purposes. I mean, you can say go up. The sales went up, but you can say the sales soar up. It means very sudden. They went up very sudden, or it's more dramatic in that case. Then that's it. That's the two things that we're gonna see in phrasal verbs. One rule of thumb, a rule of thumb. A rule of thumb, una regla rápida. A rule of thumb is when you hear something in a native context, then you know is correct. Okay. So, for example,
Can you repeat it again? The rule of thumb.
the rule of thumb is if you hear it, if you heard it, you use it. Okay? If you heard it, you use it. Si lo escuchaste, lo puedes usar. Okay? Because in many
Okay.
cases, you don't know how to use it. And sometimes it's really difficult or very specific, and the way they use it in a context, it is a little bit tricky. So the rule of thumb is if you don't know how to use a phrasal verb, then just avoid using that phrasal verb. If you have heard that phrasal verb in many contexts, then just feel confident to do it. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna share the screen a little bit. If I could, I don't know. Yeah, let me see. Okay. I'm just gonna share my screen on the application. Yeah, I'm gonna share this one first. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is some of the structures of the phrasal verb. Okay, so phrasal verbs, as any other verbs, because we talked about in the first class that phrasal verbs are no different than other verbs. If you ask a native person what a phrasal verb is, they don't know because for them it's just normal verbs. Okay, it just happen to have prepositions and happen to have different meanings. For them, there's phrasal verbs are a term that teachers and academics had invented or have invented to teach them. Okay, it's just it's something. It's a division that we have made to teach them differently. But they are common verbs. They are normal verbs. They are more normal verbs than any other. Okay, because they are actually, well, I explain a little bit later about the the origin of the phrasal verbs. Okay, phrasal verbs. You've, as any other verb, you have transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, you know what a transitive and intransitive verb is?
No.
Well,
But
in the
but
screen
what I
set.
can. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, a transitive verb is a verb that needs an object, a direct object. Like for example, if you say I love, okay, but you're waiting for the information. Who do you love? What do you love? Okay, that is a transitive verb, because you need that object to have full meaning in that sentence. Okay, intransitive verbs, on the other hand, they don't really need an object. They could work without the object. Oh, she screamed when she saw me. Okay, she screamed when she saw me. Okay, you don't need to scream at something. You could say, oh, she screamed at the cash machine. Okay, but it's not necessary. You can say she screamed. Ella gritó. Please, the complete full sentence, no problem. Okay, if you say I hate, oh God, who do you hate? What do you hate? It's a transitive verb because it needs an object. Okay, that's the main difference. Okay, so it's very important in this one, in these verbs, in these for phrasal verbs, because we need to know where to put the objects. Okay, we have verbs with 2 or 3 parts, so you need to know where to put the direct object. Okay, so for example, in the transitive example, well, in the intransitive example, no problem. Christmas is coming up. It's approaching. Okay, in time. Christmas is approaching in time. Okay, Christmas is coming up. Um, okay, but if when you have pick up, you have to pick up something or somewhere. Okay, recoger. Recoges algo. Tienes que recoger algo. No puedes decir, ay, yo recojo. what what do you collect, what do you pick up? Okay, you need that information. Okay, so you can say she will pick up her daughter. Okay, ella recogerá a su hija. Okay, in this case they left the direct object, the direct object is her daughter, so it's at the end. You can put it in the middle after the verb. She will pick her daughter up. Perfect, no problem. Okay, so in those transitive group, then you have verbs that are separable and verbs that are inseparable. Okay, so for example, I should go over the lesson. Okay, go over is to review. Okay, you
Is
should
to what?
to review, to
Okay.
study, to revise, to review. Okay, to check again. You should go over the lesson. That verb go over is inseparable. You cannot put the object in the middle of the verb and the preposition. Never. Okay, so it always goes at the end. It always goes at the end. Okay, I'll give you more examples because I can't think of any other one. But yeah, and in the case of separable, then there is an option. Okay, you can say I have to pick up the handouts, or I have to pick the handouts up. Where's a handout?
I do know.
A handout. Well, a handout is usually anything that you give at a conference. Do you give to the audience in a conference, in a class, in in a meeting? Okay, so for example, a handout is a photocopy with an exercise. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this handout. It's material for a conference, a class, that you hand out to the people. To hand out es pasarle algo a alguien. Hand out. Okay, so a handout is the material that you hand out actually. So it makes sense. Okay, so in this case, in the case of separable, I have to pick up the handouts, or I have to pick the handouts up. It's separable. Again, you can use it either way. Okay, it's optional. But between these two, between this group, you have some verbs that can be separated, meaning it's optional, like in the case of the handouts. And there are others that is not optional, that you need to separate the verb. Okay, it's obligatory. Okay, it's mandatory. So you can in the mass separated, I can't tell accents apart. You know what tell apart is?
No.
Tell apart is to differentiate.
What?
Differentiate. Okay. Like for example, I I had, and this is real. I had a neighbor family, and they had two twins. They had twins, and these girls, they were so alike. They were so alike. I could never tell them apart. Okay, I could never tell them apart. Okay, nunca las pude diferenciar. In fact, they
Okay.
play a lot of jokes to me because I couldn't differentiate them. I couldn't tell them apart. Okay, I I couldn't tell the twins. They were so alike. Eran tan parecidos.
Okay.
They were so alike. They were they were so alike that I couldn't tell them apart. Now that they are older, I can tell them apart because one is taller than the other one. The other had lighter skin, and I can tell them. I can totally tell them apart. But then when they were babies, oh my god, I didn't know who was who.
In the phone, can you tell them apart?
In the what?
In
On
the
the
phone?
on the phone.
On the phone?
On the phone? No. I cannot tell my cousins apart on the phone. Uh, no, I can never tell them apart. Um, on the phone. Yeah, on the phone is very difficult to tell people apart. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So in those cases, these verbs, these phrasal verbs are totally separable, and they need to be separated. Okay, you cannot say I can tell apart the accent, or I can tell apart accents.
Okay. Are you there? Hello? Teacher? Yoo-hoo. Perdón. I had to open it here. And fine. It's fine. It's fine. Poetry jam. Yep. It's true. Q&A. Quality control. Correct.